Sign it now or else. This is not justice. Your choice is clear.
It's 1885. In a grand hall in Berlin, powerful European men sit around a polished table. In front of them is a map of Africa. They don't see people. They don't see kingdoms, cultures, or civilizations. They see land with rulers and pens. They slice the continent like a cake. Not a single African is invited. 30 years later, almost all of Africa is under foreign rule, and the biggest winner, Britain. This is not a story of one great battle. It's a story of greed, deception, technology, and cold calculation. This is how the British Empire conquered Africa. This is the scramble for Africa.
Gentlemen, this line secures our southern interests, but it risks conflict with their northern claims. Agreed.
Britain didn't begin with armies marching inland. For centuries, their presence in Africa was small and strategic. A Fort Ferry, a trading post there. In the 1700s and early 1800s, Britain's focus was simple: trade, slavery, then controlling it. In 1808, Britain establishes Sierra Leone as a settlement for freed slaves, proudly calling it the Province of Freedom. At the southern tip, they seize the Cape Colony from the Dutch during the Napoleonic Wars, making it official in 1815. Along the West African coast, modern Ghana and Gambia British trading posts multiply. These weren't empires, yet they were footholds.
The ships draw near. Look at the sails. Prepare to receive them. Aye, to the dock.
Then came the explorers and missionaries. Men like David Livingstone trekked deep into the interior, mapping rivers, spreading Christianity, and sending thrilling reports back to Europe. They spoke of endless ivory, diamonds, and gold, vast fertile lands, rubber forests untouched. Europe was industrializing. Factories were hungry. Empires needed raw materials. And Africa suddenly looked like the ultimate prize.
Onward, men! The falls await! Yes, Bwana, we are right behind you.
Everything changes in the 1880s. In 1882, Britain occupies Egypt. Officially, it's to protect the Suez Canal, the lifeline to India. In reality, it marks Britain's first major leap into African domination. And the rest of Europe notices. Competition explodes. France, Germany, Belgium, Portugal, everyone wants territory to avoid fighting each other. Europe meets in Berlin in 1884 to 1885. 14 nations attend. Otto von Bismarck hosts. Africa is discussed like unclaimed property. A simple rule is agreed. If you want land, you must occupy it. Plant flags. Send soldiers, sign treaties. From this moment on, the race is on, and Britain plays it brilliantly.
This route is our lifeline. The terrain here is treacherous. We must secure the pass.
In West Africa, Britain lets private companies do the dirty work. The Royal Niger Company pushes inland along the Niger River, forcing treaties on local rulers often through threats, lies, or violence. By 1914, these territories are merged into one massive colony, Nigeria. Governor Frederick Lugard introduces indirect rule governing through traditional leaders to cut costs and suppress rebellion. Meanwhile, Britain crushes the Asante Empire after decades of resistance, fully annexing the Gold Coast interior by 1901. Sierra Leone and Gambia expand into full protectorates.
Keep it coming! Ammo's halving! And that's left! As we fire!
Next stop, East Africa. Britain declares a protectorate over Uganda in 1894 and Kenya in 1895. They build the Uganda Railway, slicing through the land and opening fertile highlands to white settlers. Zanzibar becomes a British protectorate in 1890. Africa is no longer just being controlled, it's being reshaped. Southern Africa is the most violent chapter. Diamonds are discovered in 1867. Gold follows in 1886. Enter Cecil Rhodes, a man obsessed with empire. His dream, a British-controlled Africa from Cape to Cairo. Through his British South Africa Company Territories are seized and renamed Rhodesia, modern Zimbabwe and Zambia. Then comes war. In 1879, Britain clashes with the Zulu Kingdom. Atizanduana Zulu are shocking the world. But machine guns and artillery eventually crush the resistance. Then Britain turns on the Boers, Dutch-descended settlers sitting on gold-rich land. The Second Boer War erupts in 1899. It's ruthless. Farms burned, civilians herded into concentration camps. Thousands. By 1902, Britain wins. In 1910, the Union of South Africa is born under the British Crown. In the north, British forces annihilate the modest army at Omdurman in 1898. Maxim guns versus spears. Sudan falls under Anglo-Egyptian rule. British Somaliland, Bechuanaland, Botswana, Nyasaland, Malawi, northern Zambia. By 1914, Britain dominates nearly a quarter of Africa. Only Ethiopia and Liberia remain independent. How did Britain capture Africa? For deadly tools used. Diplomacy. Treaties signed through coercion or deception. Technology. Maxim guns. Steamships. Quinine. Chartered companies. Private firms acting as empires. Divide and rule, turning African groups against each other. African resistance was fierce and heroic, but technology and organization tipped the scale.
Sign it now or else. This is not justice. Your choice is clear.
Yes, railways were built, ports expanded, Western education introduced, but the cost was enormous. Land stolen, forced labor, cultures erased, borders drawn with no regard for ethnic reality, racial hierarchies that poisoned societies. These scars remain after World War II. Resistance rises, Ghana gains independence in 1957, Nigeria follows in 1960. Kenya in 1963, after the Momo struggle, slowly, the Union Jack comes down.
Ghana is free forever!
The British conquest of Africa wasn't accidental. It was driven by ambition, fear, and belief in superiority. It reshaped a continent, and the consequences are still felt today. So, here's the real question. Was the British Empire a force for progress or pure domination? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you want more deep dives into colonial history, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.